Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome to round 7 of the Tarmac Esports Truck Series, and I have alongside me once again Patrick Day and Chris Miller for round 7 at Las Vegas. We're out west now. Homestead was an exciting one. It was a fun one. John Evans got his first win on the season, and now we have seen 6 different winners throughout this season. Can we see 7 today? That is to be determined. Patrick, how are we doing today? Chris, how are we doing? Think we should tell him, Chris?
I don't know. Maybe we should.
Don't tell me. Just let me sit there and
we let you go for a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. That's funny. I get excited to talk about it, and
Rookie
I
mistakes.
totally forget. Yep. No, Homestead was a good race. Really good race. I needed 30 to 35 lap runs to really shine there. Because at the end of the race, I was 7th place with 3 laps to go, and by the checkered, I was 4th. Right. And that's how quickly those cars fell off in that race. So if we could have gotten to 30 or 35, I think me saving my tires would have worked better. But I'm very, very happy with the 4th place finish, and good on Mr. Evans there for his win. He ran a great race. So yeah, good race all around.
Yeah, it's crazy to believe that we're halfway through the season already. We're heading into week 7 here at Las Vegas, and last week I didn't talk about it in the article on Facebook or anything, but Kyle Wellman, took 2 tires on that last stop, and obviously it didn't work out for him. He did lead 13 laps in the race, but fell back to 8th before it was all said and done. So he was one of those drivers that we thought could maybe get his first win, but none of us talked about John Evans. So he had missed a few races at the beginning of the season due to work obligations. So comes in here. He was last season's Super Speedway Series champion. So he's no stranger to the league, and he obviously knows how to win there. But he pulled off his first victory at Homestead there, and once he got around Galusha, I think him and Nick Galusha were definitely the fastest cars out there all night. But once he got around them, there's no looking back.
Yeah, so let's go over that top 10. And you said Nick Galusha was there up top. He finished 2nd here, and he just can't figure out how to get his first win. He's still waiting on that first win. He's had 3 seconds in this, and he just wishes that teammate of John Evans wasn't there. Unfortunately, he was, or he could have been the winner here at Homestead. Trevor Catalano comes home in the 3rd position. We've seen him all season long, very strong. Here again, he's strong again inside the top 3. Patrick, you get yourself into the 4th position, so another good outing once again. Paul Fly comes home 5th, so good for him after getting a win the week prior. Ryan Palmer comes home 6th, a good finish for him. We'll talk a little bit more about Ryan Palmer later on in the program. Zach Dykstra comes home 7th, another good finish for him. 8th was Kyle Wellman, and we talked about Kyle Wellman. He did take those 2 tires, and all race long he was running very, very well, running 4th, 5th, place, but he just didn't have the speed, and he thought, you know what, I got to try something here if I'm going to win it, and that's really what he wanted. He wanted to win, and that just didn't pan out for him. 2 tires just did not work. He went backwards in that and finishes 8th. 9th was Brandon Surratt, a good outing for him in his second race, taking over Byron Gay's number 11 machine. And 10th was Jeff Herman, another good finish for him inside the top 10. We'll talk a little bit more about Jeff Herman later in the show as well. Looking at some of this, Trevor Catalano, he started 22nd in this race. He came up into the 3rd position. We can't speak too much more on Trevor Catalano. We've talked so much about him and how well he has done. But again, driving through the field, he was able to do it, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the skills, right? We noticed towards the beginning of practice and all through practice that he was having trouble with connection, right? So I don't think he got correct me if I'm wrong, did he get any laps in, Chris?
He did not. There's other drivers that had the same issue, so I did not penalize him this week like we said we would for the qualifying. But, I mean, with that update, there was a lot of people getting in late. There was a lot of people that missed altogether, so we didn't penalize him for it. But, yeah, it was unbelievable, really, for him to come from 22nd.
Yeah, he's got the tools, right? And so it scared me more if he started up front where he should have. What would his night been like, right? Because he definitely, abused his tires getting up through that pack. So,
yeah, a couple other drivers that you've seen there that moved through the field. Paul Fly, he started 18th and was able to finish 5th, so he moved through the field very well. Brandon Surratt, 19th to 9th, so he moved up 10 spots there. That was good for him. And Jeff Herman, 21st to 10th place. So there was a few guys that had started in the back and was able to move through the field and was able to show a pretty good outing there. We only seen 3 cautions here at Homestead, so that was really cool. We went 70 laps here, 9 lead changes on the day. What do you guys make of just the 3 cautions? We kind of talked about it. We thought that was going to be likely.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like, it could have gone either way, right? It could have, what I thought was going to happen is either going to be very few cautions like Michigan, or we were going to have a crap ton like Bristol. So I'm glad it went the other way because that helped my race out a lot. But yeah, no, we got a good group of guys. I think we're starting to learn to drive around each other better. We are at the little bit easier tracks to handle now. Homestead, iRacing was nice to everybody. Dang it, they put out a new setup right before the race that was a little bit tighter, so it was easier to handle. So that might have helped with the cautions there. It didn't help in me saving my tires, though. I think with the older set, I probably would have had a better chance, but there we go.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked by the 3 cautions. I kind of thought we would lean more towards 0 or 1 or 2 cautions. I think 3 was a good, reasonable number. We've seen 5 here before in the past. But it didn't help me. I mean, as far as I burned my tires up, fell to the back, and then never could get anything going. But and it definitely showed when Kyle Wellman took those 2 tires, because he went out there and laid out a great lap in qualifying, and I thought, oh my gosh, he's going to run away with it. But he tried a little bit of strategy there at the end, and I was on the mic with him in our garage, and it definitely didn't pan out for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking at the point standings now, your top 20s up there, you see it. Really no movement inside the top 5 other than Trevor Catalano, where he does finish at 3rd position. So he does move up 2 spots. We got some movement, though, 6th through 10th. Patrick, you move up 4 spots now into the 6th position, really gaining some momentum here. Zach Dykstra moves up 4. He's gaining some momentum. 8th, Harold Ralph stays where he's at. Alex Rosinski drops 5 positions here. 10th is Grant Clark. He's up 2 positions, so it's good for him to see him inside the top 10. 11th is Paul Negus, down 2. Timothy Lewis continues to drop. He's down to 5th, of course. He had some issues getting in, and that ultimately caused some big-time issues for him, going multiple laps down, and that's just unfortunate. Ryan Palmer, up 6, your biggest gainer in points, into the 13th position. Derek Roffling up 1 into that 14th position. 15th is Jeff Herman up 2, and I think I've been saying this about every time we come on to the Countdown to Green show. Jeff Herman continues to just ink a little bit more and more forward. So he's inside the top 15 now. 16th, Nate Davis down 3. Daniel Quigley down 1 in the 17th spot. 18th is Sam Reed up 2. 19th, Craig Bridge down 1. And cracking the top 20 for the first time, Brandon Voiles up 1 spot there. Sam Reed also was one that cracked the top 20 for the first time this season. 6 different winners on the series. That is amazing. Will we see another one here? Las Vegas. It's possible. It's very possible. It's trending to yes, it's going to happen, because that's just how it's been playing out. So we shall see. We shall see. But I do have some really cool stuff for you guys in this show. And I want to talk a little bit about some drivers. Maybe some drivers that we're not used to seeing a whole lot about. We do want to talk about them, because there's some things to be noted about some of these drivers. And the first driver I want to talk about is Ryan Palmer. We just said that he moved up 6 spots from last week in the points. Really, really good finish for him last week. But you look there, he's only had 1 top 5. He's had 2 top 10s and 4 top 20s. His best finish was the very first race of the season, where he finished 3rd. His worst finish, Chicagoland, 31st. His average starting position, this guy can qualify pretty good, 7th. His finish last week, of course, he finished in that 6th position. He currently stands in the 13th position. But I look at, like, Ryan Palmer. Daytona, he finished 3rd. New Hampshire is 20th. Chicagoland, 31st. Bristol, 27th. Michigan, 13th. And then Homestead, 6th. When I look at Bristol, so let's go back to Bristol. Bristol, he finished 27th, right? Man, he was running 2nd in that race, early in on it. Got loose, wrecked, actually the same time that Timothy Lewis gets into a lap car. So they both have to go to the back. And then they restart, and he gets back up into the 9th position with about 30 laps into the race, gets into another accident. His night's done. So Bristol, that one did him in. Michigan, running 4th, 5th, solid consistently until the very last lap. And there's a wreck, and he gets taken out, and he doesn't have the best finish there. He does manage a 13th place finish, but could have been even better. So this is a guy that I see, and you guys can put your input on this, but Ryan Palmer, if he could just figure some things out, get out of maybe some bad luck situations, man, he could really improve his points. You know, he's sitting in that 13th position. Easily could be inside the top 10 and make a push for a top 5, because this guy's pretty good.
Yeah, he's a really quick driver. Ryan he's on the Rat Bastards team, right? But he reminds me of a young Rat Bastards team, couple, 4 seasons ago or so, right? Hard charger, goes for it all the time. Finds himself in some sticky situations every once in a while. I haven't looked specifically at him with the races that I look at, going back and looking at him to see if, okay, maybe if he would have just let that guy go or waited a little bit longer to make that move, would he have been all right? So I don't know if that's the case. I kind of think that is with him. What I think he needs to do is just maybe a little bit more give and take during the race and leave his hard race until the end, right? And I think the other guys, his peers that he's racing with, have learned that and are doing that. Nick Galusha is doing really good at that this season. So if he can just learn that and wean that from those guys, he'll definitely be a top 10, top 5 driver.
Chris, what you got?
Yeah. I think you hit it, Patrick. You said it was he was a young Rat Bastards teammate, and or a season or two ago or a year or two ago with them guys, and you're exactly right. That's exactly how he races. Whether it's his doing or bad luck, He's got to get more consistent, obviously. And I mean, what you show there, I think a 31st and a 27th or something was his lowest too. So obviously those are drop weeks at this point. And I mean, he can't have, I mean, another bad race and he falls in the other direction, but he only sits 10 points out of 10th place. So I could very easily see him finishing in the top 10, maybe. I mean, it's probably hard to get in the top 5 at this point. He's still only 20 points back of that, so it's possible. He's ran great at times. Whether it's bad luck or his doing, I'm not sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'd be interesting to see what this guy can do, and it's a guy that I kind of got on my radar. I'm kind of looking at because you see him there early in the race, and then the results aren't always there. Last week he got 6, so he did show some results there. Will that snowball and continue for a good result at Las Vegas? We shall see. Next guy I want to talk about, and this guy, he needs some high praise, and I'll talk about why he needs some high praise. And this is Jeff Herman. Has not had a top 5, 2 top 10s, and 4 top 20s. His best finish was 9th at Chicagoland. His worst finish was 14th at Daytona. Okay, his worst finish is 14th at Daytona. He's already missed 2 races, so that was his 2 drop weeks. Average starting position, usually around 20th. He's not the best qualifier out there. Finished 10th last week, like we talked about. He's currently 15th in points. But this guy, I know he's missed 2 races, but we've seen some other guys that's missed 2 races. And so I want to show at this time the graphic that shows the safety ratings, because Jeff Herman, believe it or not, is the lowest safety rating by a lot. Not by a little bit, by a lot. There's nobody else even close to him. So I will just pinpoint it out. Daytona was his highest one that he had incidents in, and that was 6 points. The other 2 races he had 4, and last week he didn't have any. So looking at that in comparison to the rest of the field, here is what the incidents look like. Jeff Herman has 14. I mean, John Ott, he's your highest right now at 60. Paul Fly's up there at 58. Ryan Palmer at 57. Grant Clark at 56. So there's a lot there. And a lot of these points, if you looked at them, you could probably guess where some of them came from. Bristol, right? Well, Jeff Herman at Bristol only scored 4 points at Bristol. The average at Bristol was 16 points that people was making contact with others. So I can't say enough about how clean of a driver Jeff Herman in that 87 has been. So hats off to him. That's really cool. Guys, what do you think of that?
Yeah, definitely. He's just a steady driver, right? So he reminds me a lot of Grant Clark, my teammate. He's gonna might start in middle back of the field, but he's just gonna steadily creep his way on up. He's not gonna take a lot of chances. He can give guys a lot of room. But on the flip side of that, his results speak to it, right? So if you drive like that all the time, you're not going to be able to get up there in front and scrap with the guys that are up there in the top 10 that are really, really pushing it, right? So hopefully Jeff can, just eke out that mean side a little bit towards the end of the races, right, and really push his car and try to get some better finishes. But yeah, I mean, solid, right? You said worst place was 16th or
14th.
14th. Yeah, I mean that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. That's really is good.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, when you said that he was going to be our spotlight driver, I thought, wow, I mean, it's been really quiet. Jeff Herman has been really quiet. I mean, one, I'm really shocked that the 14th place is his worst finish, because you would think at some point he would be involved in an incident, which you just went over his incident points, and obviously he's been able to avoid that. Or somebody call him out on the radio. We hear it every week, somebody calling somebody out because of something, and I've never heard Jeff's name. I don't even know if he's ever asked for a black to be cleared or anything. So he's been a really quiet Jeff Herman, but I wonder if he stays a little bit. Like, I don't want to say he's running in the back because obviously he's not, but I'm saying that he stays clean. Maybe he's on a work schedule. I think he might have told us at the beginning he was going to miss some races, wouldn't be running for the championship. So maybe he's just trying to, run really clean around people, and he's giving a lot more than taking. And Patrick's right. I mean, if he wants to win, he's going to have to take some of that back.
I would agree 100% with that for sure. But yeah, this is something that we've always done. We did it on Dirt Eye TV, and it normally comes around this time, about halfway through the season. We'll prop up this graphic that states, how people are driving, where are the incident points, and it's a really cool gauge of how drivers are driving out there. And it's interesting. It's very interesting because you got Kyle Wellman down there at 42. You got Nick Galusha at 38. You got Timothy Lewis at 32. You got Paul Fly clear up at 58. That's we've already talked about it. That's a heated battle between those two teams, and one doesn't like how the other one drives and vice versa. But when you look at incident points, it's pretty much even kill. One's not any cleaner than the other. If anybody has anything to say, it'd be like Jeff Herman, be like, you know what, boys? I'll show you how to race clean. Of course, he's not up there up front like Patrick's saying, but it's interesting to see. Is there any name on that list that you're, other than Jeff, on there that you thought that would maybe be a little bit less in incident points?
Yeah, Patrick Day, Grant Clark. Yeah, I'm usually I'm a very clean driver. But I mean, if you go back and look at all those for me and for Grant, I can guarantee you a lot of those were not our problem, or were not our making. Right, we were a victim of something happening on the track, and I could probably point to 3 races for me that most of those came from, which would be Daytona, Bristol, and New Hampshire. Right, so the other ones, I know I got 0 last week, so. It just all depends on what's happening around you, and how your luck goes, right? So, but yeah, to get 14, like I actually am surprised that I'm that high in this list, and
yeah, and that I consider you a really, really clean driver as well, and so that's why it even stands out even more to see a guy that has only 14 down there, Jeff Herman. So. Yeah, Patrick, your worst race, you scored 20 incident points at New Hampshire, 16 at Daytona, and then 12 at Bristol. You had goose eggs the last 2 weeks, so no incidents at all for the last 2 weeks. So that's good. Chris, what do you think? Who do you think on that list that you maybe think that may have been a little less?
I don't know about so much a little less, but I think what's interesting is the one, you talked about the feud with the Dirty Rat Bastards and Kyle Wellman. And, he's really got a grudge against Timmy Lewis and Nick Galusha, which are below him. He doesn't have a grudge with so much with Paul Fly or Ryan Palmer. Doesn't say much about them. But they're up there. I think we said it early, that was like the aggressive Rat Bastards teams back there, 2 years ago. And I'm not surprised to see Paul and Ryan up there because they do race aggressive. I do think that Patrick and Grant, being teammates there, I know what you guys do. A lot of times you run towards the middle of the pack, and you guys are just, Ryan just said it, 3 races is where you had all your points. So it's just getting caught up in something, but which you can't avoid. I don't know if there's any name up there, though, that I see that I would expect a lot less. I'm not surprised by it, really. I can see it. John Ott, I know he's probably one of them that he's back there with me a lot more. He's probably a little better than I am, but he, I don't know if that's more of a victim of circumstances or if he's in a lot of them. When I go back and watch the replays, I don't ever remember saying that John Ott caused that. So it's interesting to see he's got 60.
Yeah, and you look at John Ott. So Daytona, he scored 10. New Hampshire, he scored 5. We're at Chicagoland next. That would have been 16. And then actually Bristol, he didn't have any, which was kind of shocking there. And then we was at Michigan, he scored 9, and then last week he actually scored 20. So last week was actually his bad one. So, okay, before I move on to the next featured driver, I do want to pinpoint out that we just talked about Ryan Palmer and what he could potentially do to maybe, be there at the end of the race. And maybe this correlates back into the safety facts that we have here from Bell IT Solutions here. Ryan Palmer sits with 57 incident points. Could it be, maybe you're right. Maybe one of you spoke on it and said that, maybe he needs to take it a little easy early in these races, and then his aggression comes out towards the end of the race. Maybe that's what he needs, because 57, that's pretty high, and he needs to be there at the end to actually get results.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's he's got the skills, right? But he's like a lot of guys, and it was hard for me to do it too when I first started to really think about saving tires and such. Let the leaders go, right? I know I'm going to pull them back in, let them go. And sometimes that's hard to do. And if you're not the type of driver that can do that, it's really hard to, okay, I'm racing the track right now. I'm hitting this time. This is the time I'm aiming for. I'm not worrying about what anybody else is doing. And that's a really hard thing to do.
Absolutely.
Well, and I've noticed that with Paul and Ryan in the past, where they get involved in an incident, they go in, they use their fast repair, they come back out, they're at the end of the field. And instead of being extremely patient going through the field, they know they've got a fast car. They know they're fast. They've already been up front running. They're trying to just pick these, they're trying to pick off 3, 4, 5 cars in a lap, where maybe, sit back a little bit more and just take it easy and pick off 1 or 2 in a lap. And maybe the incident points wouldn't be as high.
Absolutely. All right. Their next featured driver is Grant Clark. We'll bring him up here. The 06 machine. He doesn't have a top 5 yet, so he's still looking for that. He does have 1 top 10 and 6 top 20s. So he has not been outside the top 20 over 6 races. So that's pretty good. That's really good. His best finish was 4th at Michigan. His worst finish was 16th at New Hampshire. Average start, right there in the 13th position. Finished 11th last week, so he just missed that top 10. And he currently sits 10th in the points. Patrick, I'm interested to hear what you have to say about Grant Clark.
About my teammate, huh? Oh boy, let's try not to make him too mad. Grant's a great, steady driver. He's so he will tell you, and I'll tell you, right? This is even with me. He's really good at tracks you have to drive. So he's going to do well at Richmond. He did fairly well at Bristol, if I remember right. He should have done better at Homestead, but he got in a little bit of trouble at Homestead, and had a problem with one of the drivers there. So, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, he's kind of. I'm going to say the same thing about him that I said about Jeff. Right? He just needs to get a little bit of mean streak in him towards the end of the races, right? And he'd be 5 more places ahead, right? He was complaining to me, well, this guy's holding me up. He's holding me up. I was like, well, you got a bumper. He said, well, I'm not going to do that. I said, okay, then you just have to accept your fate, right? So, and I respect that. I'm kind of like that as well. Like I've said many times, I will rather finish second place than bump a guy out of first to win first, right? So if I can't get by you cleanly, then I'd rather just keep my spot where I'm at. But, it depends on how bad you want the win. I've learned, especially racing with the Rat Bastards guys, I'm not afraid to give a little bit of shove in there towards the end of the race, right? I'm not going to do it early in the race, but if it comes down to at the end of the race, I'm definitely going to be pushing them hard and nudge him. I won't spin him out, but I'll nudge him if I have to. Grant's not there yet, but I wish he was.
Chris, what do you see?
Man, I love having Grant Clark in this league. I would take 40 of them, and Grant's been here since pretty much the beginning. I would say he was in our very first series we ever ran, so probably one of the most respected drivers on the track. Like Patrick said, he's not going to put you in the wall. it's very rare when it's his issue on the track, as far as when he gets involved in an incident. So I am shocked to see Grant at 56 incident points up there. But you look at these stats, and you've got worst place 16th. You look at Jeff Herman, worst place 14th. I mean, you got 6 top 20s, you got 4 top 20s, and Jeff's missed a couple races. So honestly, they've been racing very similar, and I think, a little bit more aggressiveness from both of them, and they're easily into the top 10 in points.
Absolutely. So, looking at these guys here, just real quick before we move on, looking at the 06 of Grant Clark, the 87 of Jeff Herman, and the 10 of Ryan Palmer. Which driver comes out of Las Vegas with the better finish?
Honestly, I think I'm going to say Ryan Palmer, but I don't think it's by much.
Okay.
But I think this is going to be, after running this track, I think this is going to be a track position type of race. It's going to be hard to pass. So I think that's going to hurt Grant and Jeff for this race.
Okay. Chris?
It depends. I think Ryan Palmer will be the fastest out of that group. I don't know if he keeps it clean. I mean, we've seen, from race to race, it just depends. You're not going to know his results. I think Jeff or Grant, they've had very similar races, you can tell. So I think either one of them could potentially be the one that finishes the best.
I'm going with Grant Clark on this one. I think he'll finish best out of the 3. So it'll be interesting. We'll revisit this next week and see just how it does play out. Before we move forward, we are halfway through this season. And if you haven't done so, this is a great time now to support us by donating here on the PayPal channel or on the PayPal page right there. I'll actually put that in the comment section for you all so you're able to just click and donate if you'd like to. Small donations is greatly appreciated. Hey, these broadcasts are not free. It does cost to run some of the software to actually be able to call these races. So if you can, please donate to us if you're possible. Guys, we're going to Las Vegas, and I'm pretty excited about this place because I think it could be one that could come down to a really close finish. And that's why I think these picks are going to be very interesting to see. And I'm interested to see if, hey, are we going to see a 7th different winner? Because that could potentially happen. Let's take a look, though. Let's take a look.
Patrick Day hopes we have a 7th different winner.
Yeah. There's a couple other drivers down through there that's hoping for that as well. So let's look at the points. I'm in last once again. I am not doing too hot right now, but I'm still there. I can still make up that ground. I've got 2 points. Chris has got 3 points, and Patrick Day continues to lead this one with 6 points on the year. All right, we're going to get to the picks here at Las Vegas. We're going to start with Chris's pick for the bronze category there in that 3rd position. Patrick, who does he have?
Well, first question I got asked, did he have the same intel that you and I had?
No, I don't think
okay.
so.
Okay. Well, let's spoil it then. We'll see what happens. Wow, who's going to say 3rd? Las Vegas? I'm going to say, who's going to say Kyle Wellman here?
Kyle Wellman.
Oh, I gotta say, Patrick, I mean, that is a good pick, and I think Wellman got me a couple points up here, but we're halfway through the season. I'm sitting 3 points back of you, Patrick, and it's just time to get down to business. So I'm going to tell you right now, my top 3 picks are just down to business, okay? Woo-hoo! And they're business picks, and they're going to bring me some points. I'm just letting you know. And number 3 is Paul Fly. And, I go off a lot of past races we've had in NASCAR, and I know we don't have the same field, but as far as I-rating-wise, there's a few drivers that are close to him. But I think Paul Fly's led a lot of laps at Vegas in the past, and he's going to come home 3rd tonight.
Good pick.
I like the pick. It's hard to pick against him inside the top 3. Finished well last week, and he's got a win on the season, so it's a good pick. Patrick, you have the next pick for us queued up, and Chris is in your mind right now, and he knows what you've picked. Chris, what's he got? Awesome.
Yeah,
I
good
said,
pick.
I said you was in his head, and you got it.
Yeah, I think he's he's good week in and week out. I think this is going to be a strong track for him. It's like I said, I think this is going to be a track position track. He's fast enough to be up front most of the race. As long as he can stay out of any trouble, he's gonna be up there.
Like the pick. Finished third last week. He could repeat that again, getting the third here at Las Vegas. It's a good pick for that 55 machine. All right, who do I have here in my third pick?
Yours are so all over the board. I don't. You could probably pick Grant Clark in this third place right here.
That's why I only got
Grant
2
Clark.
points.
I'm going to go with Timmy Lewis.
Timmy Lewis. Okay, my pick here in the third spot, I'm going to go with Kyle Wellman. I'm hoping that he doesn't make the same mistake and pick 2 tires or just pick the wrong decision in pit road, because he was a top 3, top 4 car last week. Stay on pace with everybody else, have the same tires. I think he is easily inside the top 3 here at Las Vegas. Okay. Chris has the number 2 pick. Patrick, who does he have?
I don't know if he thinks somebody's going to repeat. I think he might think somebody's going to repeat. So I'm going to say he's going to say Nick Galusha here.
Chris?
I mean, definitely a good pick. You're wrong again, but no, I took his teammate Timmy Lewis here. I wouldn't be surprised if Timmy doesn't even win this thing. He's dropped to 12th. He's had a few bad weeks in a row. I mean, last week wasn't his doing by no means. It was all related to the connection. But I think he's going to come out and prove a point that he deserves to be in that top 10 in points, and he's going to finish second, if not win it.
Good
pick. Yeah, really good pick.
And he needs it. He does. He needs it. He needs to win. I think, I think a championship may be out of the cards for him, but we'll see. But he does need a really, really good finish here. All right, Patrick, you've got us for that number 2 spot. And Chris, are you in his head again? Chris, what does he have here?
I think he's got Galusha here.
Good pick. No, don't have Galusha here. I've got his teammate Paul Fly. I think this is going to be a good race for him. He's been running really well. He did say in his interview this is one of his better tracks. He's done well here in the past, so yeah, I think this is going to be a good night for Paul.
Yeah, he actually spoke and said that his next 2 races here and Richmond is pretty good races for him. So it'll be interesting to see how he fares here at Las Vegas. All right, who do I have in my number 2 spot here?
Like I said, you're all over the board. I'm gonna say you picked with Chris down there. I'm
Send this lap, guys.
Timmy
Send this
Lewis
lap.
is gonna have a bounce
Go high
back.
on 4.
Well, in mine, I'd like to say Alex Rosinski. I don't think you'd pick him, though, because I think he missed last week, so it's hard to say whether he's coming back. I think he will have a good run here if he's here, but I know you're in it you're trying to catch up in points, so I think you took Patrick here.
Patrick, you're right. I'm all over the board, but I'm all over the board with you, and I agree with you. Paul Fly is going to finish second here. And, he said it.
Well, man, I hope that doesn't happen. 'Cause I'm really going to fall behind.
He said it. He said it after that victory that he is very much looking forward to Las Vegas, as he feels that he could get back into victory lane. So why not pick him inside the top 3? I just don't think you're going to have a repeat winner yet. So I put Paul Fly here in the number 2 spot. Okay. The winner here at Las Vegas. Who are we thinking is going to win here? Starting with Chris. Patrick, what do you think?
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and stick with this theme so far. I'm going to say Nick Galusha is what he's going to say up there.
Okay.
Rat Bastard 123.
Yeah, he's on board with that team. So far, I mean, he's not going with Miller time. I think he's about to switch teams for us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking a really good pick though, Patrick. And you know, I do think it's going to be a first-time winner. And I told you last week I didn't think that we would get our first repeat winner at Richmond. And I thought that would probably be you, Patrick, that we'd get that repeat winner. So I almost picked you tonight because that's the only way we could get that repeat winner. But I didn't. And I got Nick Galusha here. I do think Nick's going to come out and get his victory. He's going to expand on that points lead. And, man, I'll tell you what, he's going to be tough to beat this season. He's going to be tough to beat, and I picked him at the beginning of the year.
So I'm almost thinking that you're thinking, okay, Johnny Evans isn't here, and so Nick could potentially get this one in the bag. So good pick here, the 20 machine of Nick Galusha. He's been running strong all season long. Why not get his first victory tonight and really set himself up in this point series? All right, Chris, who does Patrick have here in the number 1 spot?
Well, I'm wondering if you really, I think he's got Timmy Lewis here. I think he thinks we're going to have a repeat winner.
Okay. Patrick, what do you have?
Good pick, but actually, no. I agree with you. Nick Galusha, I think he's going to pull this one out. I think we're going to have another first-time winner. I think he's due. I think this track, the way he's been driving this year, I think it's going to be right up his alley. So as long as Paul and Nick don't take each other out, I think he's got a really good chance to take this win out here. Now, I will caveat all you these listeners listening, right? There's probably about 5 or 6 guys I can put in this top 3 religiously on a week-in, week-out basis. I'm picking them based on the recent track record and what I think is their strength as a track. So don't feel bad if you don't make my top 3 guys. You're all good drivers.
I like the pick. All right, we're down to one final pick. Drivers are looking to see if their name is up there on the pick board. All right, guys, we'll start with Patrick. Who do I have?
Well, I think we might have a 3 for here. I'm going to say you said Nick Galusha.
Okay.
And I'm going to be really bummed if it is Nick Galusha, just because I really thought this week was going to be maybe a points week for me. I just talking about I'm talking business here, guys.
Yeah.
And look, I'm probably not going to get any points because you guys got the same picks out there, but it's probably Nick Galusha.
Well, you said it's all business, and you picked the entire team. I'd be interested to know who you picked 4th. It's probably another.
Brian Palmer.
Yeah, probably. Of course. That team is looking strong.
I got Timmy Lewis 4th. Right? So
I mean, I agree. This team is very, very strong, and they are strong. Week in, week out, it doesn't matter. They're always running inside the top 5. Seem like I'm always calling their name. They're up there. And, I got one of them there in my top 2. Second, I should say. Paul Fly in the 94. But do I have his teammate? I mean, if I do, then yes, we do see our 7th different winner. If not, we may see a repeat winner. Which way am I swaying? I'm kind of thinking that we may see a repeat, but maybe not. I'm going to stick with Nick Galusha here. It is a clean sweep on the board, and I will say this, my pick I had done. I actually was doing everything last week, actually, before a race, and Chris was actually on with me. I was actually doing everything then, so I had my pick in. You guys you both thought the same way. So, yes, we all feel that Nick Galusha could win here, and it's very interesting. You see a clean sweep in 1st, Paul Fly second. Man, Chris, what were you thinking? Come on.
He's hoping Timmy Lewis has a really good day, is what he's thinking.
I'm hoping he gets second. That's one day I get a lot of points.
Yep. Well, the thing is, no matter what, however this plays out, Patrick's probably not going to lose the lead after this week because no one's really going to gain on anybody here. So we shall see. We shall see. Las Vegas, the 105 miles, 70 laps around. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Guys, the countdown to green session is over. It's time for round 7, and I can't believe it. We are over the halfway mark, closing in on a champion in the Tarmac Esports Truck Series. We'll see you on the track.
See you on the track, guys.
Rookie or veteran, no matter how long you've been coming to this event, there are butterflies. There have to be.
The biggest race of your career, one of the biggest races in the world. I guarantee you there's a lot of butterflies.
The white flag in the Daytona 500. It's time to get busy. Horrific crash on the final lap of the Daytona 500.
Second time, the Daytona 500 goes to Jimmy Johnson.
God almighty, you just won the 500.
Kurt Busch wins the Daytona.
Are you kidding me? Are you there?
Denny Hamlin wins his second Daytona 500 and wins the Coach Gibbs.
My truck isn't something you want to see in your rearview mirror.
My truck is a 3,400-pound precision-guided sledgehammer.
I guess you could say my truck likes to take the path less traveled.
My truck never gets claustrophobic in tight spaces.
My truck doesn't haul tools, but hardware, that's a different story.
The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Tough trucks, tough racing.
This season is flying by. We are here at Las Vegas, Nevada for round 7 of the Tarmac Esports Truck Series. And it is the Las Vegas 105 miles, 70 laps for these trucks. And last week, well, we seen a 6 different winner. And that was Johnny Evans got his first win on the season. Nick Galusha picked up his 3rd second place finish of the season. Still not able to find victory lane, but he is leading the points right now. 3rd is Trevor Catalano. He had a great outing there at Homestead. He came from 22nd up into the 3rd position. Today it could be an interesting one as Ryan Palmer is pretty quick out there. He was actually the fastest out there in practice session. We talked a little bit about Ryan Palmer in the countdown to green session as being one of those guys that is consistently running up front, but not able to get the results that he really wants. Can he break through today and get a victory here at Las Vegas? Another driver, Grant Clark, he's been a guy that's been consistent. I mean, 6 top 20s already this season. His best finish was 4th at Michigan. This track, does it play a little bit like Michigan for him? And will this be a great race for him? Could he potentially be our 7th different winner on the season? Jeff Herman, we talked about him in the countdown to green session. He is a very, very clean driver out there. The 87, Patrick Day mentioned in that. Can this driver maybe get to the mean side during the late runs of this and be able to push that Chevrolet truck of his, the 87, up further? As he's had some pretty good finishes. 14th is being his worst, and 9th was his best finish at Chicagoland. Can he better that? Can he get himself inside the top 5? Qualifying is going on the Speedway right now, and as we just talked about Jeff Herman, he is on top of the leaderboard right now. Not very many cars out there that took time, and there you see Trevor Catalano jumps in. Kyle Wellman now jumps Trevor Catalano. Patrick Day there in the 2nd position. As you see those start to move, that is our qualifying drivers right now out there on the Speedway. 13 drivers right now. That has taken time. We've got several drivers here, over 20 cars, or over 20 trucks, I should say, here in the desert at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We have a big 70 laps around here, and this track is very unique. It's a 1.5 mile track. Corners, 20-degree banking on that front stretch and back stretch, still the same, 9 to 12 degrees in banking. And the length of the overall on the track on the front stretch, 2,250. You look at the corners, 58 feet. You've got plenty of room there through the turns on the front stretch. You have 58, and on the back stretch, 58 as well. Looking at the race facts brought to you by Bell IT Solutions. Well, you got 70 laps here. That's 120 miles. And pit road speed is around 50. Fuel window, 35 to 37 is kind of where we're looking at. And so we'll try to watch that as we go through. Will we see a pit stop that may be under green flag? And will that change different strategies out there? Well, we'll find out here in just a few minutes, as we are just under the 2 minutes until we get the grid started for you. Right now, Kyle Wellman is on top of the leaderboard in qualifying. He was last week too, but he wasn't able to get the results that he needed, as he ran 4th and 5th all race long. He went in for a pit stop late, tried to go 2 tires to get out in front. Well, that 2 tires did not pan out for him, and he dropped all the way back into the 8th position. Let's see if Kyle Wellman doesn't make the same mistake here at Las Vegas, and can he pick up that first win on the season? We'll find out here, as Wellman's been very, very strong, and he is wanting a win, and he's one that's wanting one really, really bad. All right, we are under the 1 minute. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break. We will be right back.
In a world where being at your peak is everything, one gas station dares to fuel more than just your car. This summer, don't just fill your gas tank, fuel your peak potential.
Hi, Cheryl. What got into you?
Download the Sunoco app today. Fuel up, save up, and fuel your best.
All right, welcome back to the Tarmac Esports Truck Series, and we have qualifying just now getting ready to conclude, with Kyle Wellman looking to start on the pole here with Patrick Day on his outside. Harold Ralph puts in a good time as well. He is in that 3rd position. 4th is Grant Clark. Grant Clark putting in a really good time as well. Zach Dykstra, he had some momentum last week. He's moved up in the points a little bit. He is sitting pretty good right now in that 5th position. 6th is Daniel Quigley. 7th was Craig Bridge. 8th was Timothy Lewis. 9th is Herman. That's Jeff Herman. And 10th, John Ott. The grid is ready. The grid is set. And we're ready to go green flag. But before we do, please take a time and donate to us. We've done all of this completely, entirely free for all of the drivers. And this is not free, obviously. It does take software to be able to put a broadcast together like this. And if you can, PayPal right there, you can hit the QR code, you can scan that and be able to donate, or you can get the link right there in the comment section and donate to us. We would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's take a look at this grid here that we've got. We've got a good one. We've got some good drivers out here up front, and some drivers that has had probably their best career qualifying positions. Grant Clark starting up here in the 4th position, Patrick Day in the 2nd position, at 42 of Kyle Wellman, and got the big pole position here for today's event. Couple noteworthy drivers down here. Brandon Surratt, he did very well last week in the 11 car. Took over for Byron Gay. He has qualified 16th. Can he do well again this week? Paul Fly right there, he's a winner in this series in the 94 machine. He is running off in the 15th position here starting out. Trevor Catalano in the 55 machine. He's had to drive through the field. Well, it looks like he's going to have to do that again today. He's starting in the 13th spot in this one. Nick Galusha still looking for that first win, and boy, he was a heavy favorite in the countdown to green session, as all 3 has picked Nick Galusha to win this one, as he will roll off here in the 11th position. Timmy Lewis right here in the 41 truck. He is rolling off in the 8th position today. Can he potentially get another victory and be our first repeat winner of the season? The iRacing lights are off on that pace car. We are ready to go green flag racing here. We get you set to go green flag here. Pace car is dipping into pit road there. It's going to be in the Geico restart zone here for the 42, Kyle Wellman. We are green flag of the 70 lap event here in the desert at Las Vegas. Kyle Wellman sticks it to the bottom as Patrick Day stays to the top side. He will try to get a run down the backstretch. He would like to lead a lap early in this and pick up some bonus points, as it seems like it can be tricky to actually lead a lap around here. And, well, Kyle Wellman, he's wanting to lead it too because he knows that that's bonus points on the line, and that will be our first driver to get bonus points on the day, and that's the 42 of Wellman. Harold Ralph running really good here. He qualified really well. He's looking really good. He's sitting in the third position in that tied 15 machine. Right behind him, the 06 of Grant Clark, as Zach Dykstra looks down underneath him. He may take Timothy Lewis with him. Lewis looks to the bottom side. He's underneath Daniel Quigley right now. That's side-by-side racing with Dykstra and Clark. Wellman still your race leader. Patrick Day follows right in behind him. Side-by-side here in 1 and 2, off of 2 down the back stretch. That's Zach Dykstra and Grant Clark battling side-by-side. Right behind him, you got Timothy Lewis and Quigley. Clark able to clear the 18 and drop down in front of him. Back up front, you still have that 42 leading the way right now with Patrick Day right on his heels, just buying his time right now, right to the back bumper of that 42 machine. Timothy Lewis now to the outside of the 18 of Zach Dykstra. He's going to try to work the outside of this to try to make it work. Have not really seen a pass work that way yet with 4 laps in. Can the 41 power on the outside and get by the 18? Still working hard on the outside of Zach Dykstra there, the 18, the 41. Gets right up behind the 06 machine. Got a battle for the lead up here. It's going to be the 42, Kyle Wellman, with Patrick Day now working on him. Was looking to the outside there. Now he's got to run down the backstretch. Will he dip to the bottom? No, he does not. He tucks in behind and stays behind him in that 24. Harold Ralph now slowly starts to get to the back bumper of the 24 machine. Now here comes a run by the 24. He's looking to the outside. Doesn't have it enough. Just tucks right back in behind. Good drafting right back here. Timothy Lewis now looking underneath the 06 of Grant Clark. He was able to clear the 18 of Zach Dykstra. Dykstra under heavy pressure from Daniel Quigley. Quigley right behind him, the 18. 5 cars right nose to tail up here in the front. Patrick Day, Harold Ralph, Grant Clark, Timothy Lewis, Zach Dykstra, Daniel Quigley, Craig Bridge, and Nick Galusha, and John Ott runs your top 10 so far in this one. Grant Clark drifts way up the track there on the exit of 4. That opens up the door for the 41 of Timothy Lewis. And Lewis will be side by side as he enters in turn 1. Quigley now to the inside of the 18 of Zach Dykstra. Some cars starting to move around back here from 6th, 7th, 8th on back. Nick Galusha on the outside of the 07 of Craig Bridge. Single file in front of these two, the double 18s running side by side with each other. Everything's single file in front of him. Timothy Lewis now looks underneath. Harold Ralph looking to the inside. He's going to try to take away that 3rd position. Greg Clark may decide to go with him. Harold Ralph gives way and then tucks right back in. Didn't want to go to the outside and be stuck out there, hung out to dry. It seems like if you're on that outside, you may end up getting passed by more than just one car if you can't get down. 12 laps in of the 70-lap race. We've been green flags at the start of this one. Kyle Wellman looked like he got a little loose there. Here comes Timmy Lewis to the bottom side from the 24 of Patrick Day. Now Patrick Day on the outside, hung out to dry maybe. That 41's going to try to take that position over and move himself up into 2nd. Remember the last time that we talked about the 41 and the 42 beside each other, it did not end well as the 41 was able to get into the side of the 42, causing a lot of controversy between the two teams, and now they start to close in on each other. As side-by-side racing still, 24 to 41. Who's going to give way? Patrick Day holding strong out there. We got a caution flag on the speedway. Caution flag waves. We'll take a look at it. Doesn't look like Sam Reed was involved. Here we go. Take a look at the replay. We'll back that up just a little bit for you all so you can maybe see what happened here. 55 running right in front of Brandon Surratt here. Surratt to the outside. And the 55 may have just came up just a little bit there. As we are under the very first caution flag of the day, and you better believe we'll probably see some cars come down pit road here. Timmy Lewis, Patrick Day, and Kyle Wellman all up. Timmy Lewis stays out. Timmy Lewis, the only guy that's going to stay out on the speedway. Was that the right move by Timmy Lewis, as he was the only driver to stay out on the speedway? Timmy Lewis, the only driver out there, so he will gain the lead over, oh man, will this hurt Timmy Lewis? We seen it last week as one driver made a mistake. That was that 42 machine, taking only 2 tires instead of 4 tires late in the race, and that ultimately cost him a lot of positions. As we'll see the race off pit road here. As the 42 will win off. 24 of Patrick Day, the 15, Daniel Quigley. Nick Galusha moves up quite a few spots. And Grant Clark lost quite a few positions there. He is down into the 8th position. So the only guy that actually stays out on the speedway all alone by himself, the 41 of Timmy Lewis. And Harold Ralph's been running very, very well. And so Harold Ralph, you've been looking really good. Had a really good qualifying. As we'll get in contact here with Harold Ralph here in just a few seconds. Give us just a minute and we'll get in contact with Harold Ralph.
Still there, Johnny?
Harold Ralph, you qualified very well in this race. That tied 15 cars staying up there inside the top 5 right now. You're looking pretty good. How's the truck feel?
It feels pretty good right now. Just trying to stay out of trouble.
All right. Looks like everyone came in, took 4 tires, 4 fresh ones. The only one that stayed out was Timothy Lewis. We'll see how that plays out. Good luck to you in the rest of this race.
Thank you very much.
Harold Ralph in that 15 car. It's good to see him running inside the top 5 right now. Patrick Day running in the 3rd position. Kyle Wellman running in the 2nd position. Was it the right move for Timmy Lewis? That is the question. As lights are out on the iRacing pace car, we will be going green flag here. Nick Galusha moved up quite a few spots there. He's up 6 spots from the start of this race. So big mover in that 20 machine. He's come to the front. Timmy Lewis will have the start of this race, the restart of this race in the Geico restart zone. 41, they did not take tires. Let's see how that plays out. Will tires matter here is the question. Green flag is waving. Lewis gets a really good start. Wellman did not, and that may open up the door for Patrick Day to be able to get by him, and he does. Patrick Day up into the 2nd position now, moves past the 42, and here comes Patrick Day to the inside. A really quick and easy move to the inside of the 41. Here comes the 42 as well. That did not seem like that may have been paying out for the 41, as those older tires, you can see these cars just decide they're going to just go right around him. Daniel Quigley up into the 3rd position. Daniel Quigley running into 3rd position. That's his best spot that he's been running in this race, or in this series, I should say. Daniel Quigley running in that 3rd position. Patrick Day leading the race right now, and he has some extra bonus points. And Timothy Lewis got his extra bonus points too there, as he led a few laps there under caution. Now Quigley wanting to go to the front here and maybe shine a little bit, shine that 18 truck on the Tarmac Esports series. Give him some air time right now, running in that 3rd position. Here comes a race for the lead. Kyle Wellman to the inside of the 24. Wellman will complete that pass, and pretty easily Patrick Day gives that one up. Patrick Day has his points that he needed and gives up that position. Moved up 42 back up into the lead, and has been really, really strong in this one. There's your last lap comparisons right now, as there you see it. Wellman running pretty fast lap. Grant Clark back there in the 4th position. He's came right back in this one as he dropped a few spots in the pits there, and he's making it back up on the track here, moving to the front. Here he comes to the inside of Quigley. Grant Clark trying to match up with his teammate. The 24 of Patrick Day right in front of him now. The 06 clears that. He's into the 3rd position. Quigley starting to move back a few spots here as Harold Ralph now gets to the inside of the 18. While all this is going on, Timothy Lewis continues to drop like a rock in this one. He's back into the 7th position after not pitting here. If he has to pit under green flag, that could be bad news for Timothy Lewis. He could go a couple laps down easily in this one. Back up front, the 42 of Kyle Wellman still holding strong, but that 24 is staying right there with him. It's caution flag flies out in the speedway. We got Chris Miller, we got Brandon Boyles involved in a wreck. Here you have it, Chris Miller there, and happens right in front of Chris Miller. Chris Miller nowhere to go and gets involved. There it is. You see John Ott getting to the back of Ryan Palmer and turns him around, and well, there's several cars that's around on this one, and unfortunate for them. We are under our 2nd caution of the day. Kyle Wellman leading the race right now. Patrick Day is running 2nd. Question is, will Timothy Lewis make a pit stop here with 22 laps in? We will find out here in just a few minutes. We will step away for a quick commercial break.
And there's your beautiful baby.
Any day now.
Really? You're eating Doritos? He's eating Doritos on my ultrasound. Do you see what I have to deal with?
I know.
that.
All right, welcome back to the Tarmac Esports Truck Series at Las Vegas, Nevada for the Las Vegas 105. And looky who's all in pit road. The 41 decides you better get some fresh new tires after falling off the pace there. He's coming in. He's coming back out in the 14th position. Will he be able to climb back up inside the top 5 where he's been running very, very strong all day long? Daniel Quigley, you've been running very, very well up here. Man, how's that truck feeling out there? You've been running inside the top 5.
Yeah, it feels great. It's honestly probably the first time all year I've been up here. It feels good. I'm running with my teammates, Patrick and Grant, and we're just trying to hold this track position.
All right, good luck. We are having fun calling your name up there, seeing you up there for the first time. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, cars are going 2 by 2 by 2 as we get you set to go restart again. Before we go restarting here, we got Grant Clark here. Grant, that car's been looking pretty darn good up there inside the top 5. What's that truck feeling like?
Yeah, we're good tonight. The whole team's up here, so we're looking pretty good. We're just kind of following the 42, taking our time. I wanted to get out of the mess back there, so I used a little bit of rubber to get up here, but we'll be all right.
Good luck to you. It's good watching and seeing you inside the top 5.
Thanks.
All right, green flag ready to fly. It's very intimate right now as the 42 truck right there on the backside of that iRacing pace truck. He's ready to get back at it as he's been very, very dominant already in this race. Seems to be the fastest truck out there, but is anyone holding their stuff back is the question, as everyone's going to show their full cards right now to that 42 machine as iRacing pace car dips off the speedway. We're getting ready to go green flag here in the Geico restart zone, and the green flag is in the air. He gets a good restart. Singles file right up there with Patrick Day and Kyle Wellman, and then we've got Grant Clark and the 15 of Harold Ralph side by side there. Here comes Daniel Quigley now to the inside of Harold Ralph. Maybe almost a contact there with Zach Dykstra and Paul Fly. We're talking about Paul Fly. We haven't talked about him much, but he is up 9 spots in this race. So he's a big mover in this one, but not more than Ernie Williams Jr. He's up through the 12th position. He's moved up 11 spots in this race. He runs in that 12th position. He was your Daytona 200 winner. Ball fly to the inside of Daniel Quigley here. Harold Ralph now to the pass Grant Clark for that 3rd position. Nick Galusha now making a move to the inside of Daniel Quigley. Another driver that's coming inside the top 10 for the first time. That's the 55 of Trevor Catalano. Here comes Timmy Lewis. He took fresh tires on that last pit stop, and he's up into the 10th position right now, right behind Quigley. Paul Fly to the inside. We talked about Paul Fly. He won 2 races ago, and he said that he was very much looking forward to Las Vegas, as this is one of his better tracks, this one and Richmond that we have coming up. So keep an eye on that 94 as he starts to come to the front. 94, and there's a truck around. That was the 07 of Craig Bridge Jr. Craig Bridge Jr. involved in an accident there. We'll go back and take a look at the replay there of Craig Briggs Jr. I mean, that 07 truck was running fairly well there inside the top 20. What happened? Oh man. Just to the outside. Hey, there's about to go 3 wide there, and just not enough room there. That 7 car goes around. All right, under our third caution of the day, 29 laps in. Will anybody come in? Yes. We've got quite a few coming in here, as they are down pit road right now. Doesn't look like anybody's staying out right now. They say nope. Sam Reed does stay out. Stephen Polacek and Chris Miller, they all stay out in this one. As we've got ourselves a busy pit road here with the 42 of Wellman in, Patrick Day, Harold Ralph, Grant Clark, all these top contenders right now in for pit stops, taking a 4-tire change, I would imagine. One driver may have took 2 tires on back in here, and there they come off. And Bobby Smith does take 2 tires here, so Bobby Smith, your first guy to try to take 2 tires. Bobby Smith up 15 spots into the 6th position. Sam Reed, Stephen Polacek stay out onto the speedway and take over the 1-2 spot. Brandon Boyle's actually a lap down there. You see his car 3rd in line. Kyle Wellman in the 3rd position. 4th, Patrick Day. Looky there, the 20 of Nick Galusha now runs in the 5th spot. And then Bobby Smith, will those 2 tires pay out for him in his holiday scheme, the 98? Patrick Day, you've been running inside the top, well, the top 2, really. You've been running very, very well. How's that truck feeling out there?
It's feeling good. I'm just kind of staying behind 42 here, behind Wellman, and just saving some gas, saving my tires, and only racing when we need to. So it's been working out so far. We got Nick behind us now, so we'll have to keep an eye out. Got some slower cars in front of us. It's going to be an interesting restart. We'll see what happens.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
It's the 24 Patrick Day there. Nick Galusha on the move. And this would be a great time to talk to Nick Galusha. Nick, you've been looking really fast out there. You came through the field a little bit. Now you're sitting inside the top 5. How's that truck feeling?
I don't know. It's kind of weird here. I don't know how much talent you really have to have. So it's just kind of wide open, and I don't know. It's a little rough.
All right. You were picked by the 3 panels there on the Countdown to Green session. You better hold up to it.
Yeah, we're hoping to get you guys all some points here.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
That's the 20 of Nick Galusha. Still looking for that first win. He's had 3 second-place finishes. He does not want a second, I imagine. If he finds himself in second, oh boy, he needs the win. All right, like Patrick said, it's going to be interesting here as the lights are out on the iRacing pace truck. You got 2 slower cars that did not take tires, the 55 and the 92 of Stephen Polacek, and then the 42 of the 42 of Kyle Wellman and the 24 Patrick Day. They have fresh tires right behind them, and they've been the class of the field. And then Nick Galusha has been on the move here. He starts 5th. 6th, that 2-tire strategy. Does it work for the 98? We will see. All right, here we go. Time for the restart. It's going to be on that 55 of Sam Reed. Be on his go in the Geico restart zone. 42 right to the back bumper. Green flag is waving. 42 is going to clear the 92. That's going to help him, but Patrick Day kind of stuck in behind. He does drop down right in behind, right in front of Nick Galusha to try to get around Polacek here. Sam Reed is the leader right now on some a little bit older tires. Kyle Wellman looking to the outside of the 15 machine. 24 looking to go with him. Nick Galusha starts to close in on these two as they try to work to the outside. Nick Galusha is going to also go to the outside. Sam Reed going to work the bottom side, and that's where he's going to stick to. So he'll slowly start to fall in this one as he's on a little older tires here. Patrick Day trying to clear Sam Reed. Oh, almost some contact, and they may have made some contact, and some great driving there by Patrick Day. Kind of pitched down that 55, and then Nick Galusha about got the bat into the stick there. He held onto that car. Nick Galusha went back in here. He dropped a few, so now he's going to have to race his way back up through here. And he's on the outside of some of these faster drivers right now. Now Patrick Day on the outside, and he's not going anywhere. And actually, Bobby Smith Jr. going 2 tires here is working out very, very well for him. And up then, there goes Sam Reed into the outside wall. We'll take a look at the replay there. We knew there was some older tires up there, and guys are going to be working hard to try to get around each other. We'll rewind that just a little bit for you guys so you can see exactly what happens. And Sam Reed comes up the track and gets into the 24. Again, we'll go one more view on that. Sam Reed's car start to drift up right about here. He thinks he's got him cleared, and nope, does not. And man, that really hurts Patrick Day. It hurt Paul Fly, also involved in that wreck. Man, unfortunate for that to happen. Sam Reed being the cause of the accident there. On older tires, trying to survive up front here, try to hold back a Patrick Day that was on the outside, did not have him cleared, and well, that just really hurt Patrick Day's chances here. I mean, he's still halfway through this race, so it's still anybody's race to be had. As Bobby Smith Jr., interesting to see, he took 2 tires on that last stop and is in the second position. So Bobby Smith, pretty cool to see him inside the top 2 right here. Unfortunately, we do not have a radio communication with Bobby Smith, or we would talk to that 98 machine. Kyle Wellman back up here in the race lead. Bobby Smith may have paid out for him here. Taking the 2 tires, seemed to may have worked here. Zach Dykstra running into 3rd position right now. He's looking pretty good right now. As we do not have communication in that 18 car either with Zach Dykstra, so not able to communicate with the 18 car. Timothy Lewis now back on the same pit strategy as everybody else. He runs in the 6th position right now. Your biggest mover in this race, of course, we're going to talk about it, is Bobby Smith, up 19 spots in this race and holding strong up here. So this would be definitely if Bobby Smith could come away with a win here, that would be one of those sleepers that we did not see happening, as it's his odds in the Vegas world is probably very, very, very slim to win this. But hey, he's running in that 2nd position. Anything can happen, and when we get restarted, we're going to have about 20 laps to go. So keep an eye on that 98 machine. Talked about the 87 of Jeff Herman in the countdown to green session. There he is. Still looking for a top 5. He's had 2 top 10s and 4 top 20s. Currently, he's running in the 15th spot right now. So he's one of those guys that just seems to be there at the end and keeping the truck clean, and that's what he just does best there in the Carhartt 87 machine. Steve Miller running there in the 16th position. He's up 6 spots from the start of this race, so he's on the move a little bit there. Chris Miller not having the greatest of days. Been in a couple accidents now, and 69 machine, Tarmac Esports truck, has seen better days. .42USAFirearms.com. 5 Kings has been pretty strong, leading most all of the laps here. We've had Patrick Day lead a couple. Timothy Lewis under caution has led a few. As Patrick Day involved in that last accident, he will restart back here in the 19th position. He's got a long ways to go. Keep an eye on that 24. He's been fast. Lights are out on the iRacing pace car. Be on the command of that 42 in the Geico restart zone. He's on the throttle and gasses it up. Dykstra's going to look to the inside of the 98 of Bobby Smith here. Nick Galusha going to go with Zach Dykstra here and leave the 98 on the outside. Dykstra's able to clear and hold to the inside lane to prevent Nick Galusha from getting down underneath him. Daniel Quigley up into the 4th spot. Here comes Timothy Lewis. He's going to look to the inside of next position, and we have a caution flag out on the speedway again. We got Harold Ralph running a good race, and comes up into a car. There it happens right there. The 52, that's Paul Nagus. Goes around, and Ernie Williams Jr. also involved. John Ott involved. Tough breaks for some of these drivers. Caution flag has waved again, and we may see some cars come down pit road. Let's take a look and see. Come in. Yeah, we got Nagus, of course, John Ott, and Herman, Jeff Herman in. Steve Miller's in, Grant Clark's in, Harold Ralph's in, and Ernie Williams is in. Patrick Day will stay out, move up into the 12th spot. 42 showing signs that he's going to go in. Does anybody else show signs that they want to go in? Could be the 42 just trying to save a little bit of fuel here to see if they can get to the end of this run. 43 laps in of the 70 lap event. I'd say with these cautions, they probably do have enough to go to the end. Last pitted on lap 29. Here comes the 42. No, he will not go in. So 42 does not go into pit road. Bobby Smith does go down pit road. He's going to take fresh tires here. So yes, their last lap, they were on lap 29 is when they took tires. So that pushes it to 41, and we already kind of talked about before the start of this show where our Bell IT Solution race facts was showing us, and we were showing around 35 to lap 37, and they've got 41 to go. We've had 2 caution flags waved since the last time that they were down pit road, so Wellman maybe down on the apron saving a little fuel here, seeing if he can get the most out of it. Kyle Wellman, you've been up front leading a lot of this race. Been really strong car out there. We're going to have a few laps here left in this one. How's your fuel looking?
As of right now, I can make it, but, you know, we're not going to pull last week's strategy, and if we get a couple more cautions, we're definitely going to come in and get tires.
Well, you've been fast and kind of the class of the field right now. Good luck to you in the remaining of these last few laps.
All right, thank you.
So you heard it from Kyle Wellman. He says that he does have enough to go the way the rest of the distance. But if there is a caution, you better believe he's going to come down pit road to get some fresh tires. Fresh 4 tires. Flag flies for the 42 machine. Timothy Lewis tried to jump that little bit on the right side. Didn't work. Now he's going to have to get a push by his teammate Paul Fly. Nick Galusha now to the inside of the 18 of Zach Dykstra. He's going to try to clear him here. And he does so, but now the 18 going to try to cross back up underneath him. Not going to be able to do it as Timothy Lewis now hammers down to the inside of Zach Dykstra. That battle is for the 3rd position. Comes Paul Fly, going to push his teammate on by. Now you start to see those rat bastard teammates all ganging up. Here we see Ryan Palmer. We talked about him as maybe the aggression needs to wait towards the end of the race, and now we start to see Ryan Palmer here late in this race. Nick Galusha right to the back bumper of the 42 machine. Kyle Wellman, Nick Galusha, neither one of these guys has won here or won this season in general. Timothy Lewis sticks with his teammate. Paul Fly sticks there as well. Will they try to pass on the outside? Nobody's going to go with Kyle Wellman. The entire team, 4 wide, 4 deep back there. They're going to try to draft around the outside of the 42. Here comes the 18 of Zach Dykstra. He's going to try to give some help to that 42. Nose to tail, Rat Bastards team. Got a slow car on the outside. That's Sam Reed. He'll probably get black flag and get off the track for his slow pace. 42 trying to hold on to the inside there. Nick Galusha now to the race lead. Galusha to the front of the pack. 11 laps to go, and I tell you, this is where having teammates really pays off, as those 4 cars on the outside are all teammates, and that's worked very, very well. So these 3 on the bottom is going to have to work really well. The 42 of Kyle Wellman, the 18 of Zach Dykstra, the 24 of Patrick Day. Nick Galusha still holds the lead right now with 9 laps to go around here. He's in the lead, and he's been victim of getting at second place, the podium position, 3 times. Still looking for this first win on the season. As Kyle Wellman tries to close the gap on that race leader. Again, there is some bad blood between the 42 and the 41 and Nick Galusha. So Kyle Wellman holding strong there, maybe using up a lot of his stuff running the bottom there, but he's got to do what he's got to do, as we've got 8 more laps around here at Las Vegas in the desert. Timothy Lewis with a great push down the backstretch for Nick Galusha, and he's going to move him past the 42, and both of them clear the 42. So move the 20 and the 41 up into 1-2. They get a heck of a push down the backstretch to clear the 42 machine. Paul Negus back there in the pack a little bit is a 9th place. He was involved in the last accident, but he's trying to put something together at the end of this one. Ryan Palmer runs in the 7th spot right now. Here the 42 is going to try to go to the outside. I just don't know if that outside's going to work. Whoa, some contact with the 42 and the 41, and now he's in the middle. You got Paul Fly in the middle and the 42 on the outside, and we got contact. Patrick Day up into the outside wall with Kyle Wellman. Cars scatter, and caution flag flies out on the speedway. There it is. Patrick Day inside. Ryan Palmer comes down, and man, unfortunate. Ryan Palmer, once again, we talked about it in the countdown to green session. If Ryan Palmer could just clean up his racing towards the end of the race, he could be there. He could be there. And a small mistake right there sent Patrick Day into the outside and took out several cars there. So again, we talk about Ryan Palmer not finishing races as Ryan Palmer being involved in that. I don't know how much damage he actually took there. May have just sent the car around, and the car may be okay. Anybody going to go in here? Any takers? Question is, who's going to come in? With 5 to go, yes, everyone's going to come down for fresh 4 tires. Probably a smart move here. One car is going to stay out. That's going to be Brandon Sturt out there and Bobby Smith. They're going to stay out and try to win this by staying out. If you're deep down in this pack, it's probably not a bad idea to go ahead and do that, as what do you have to lose? See Nick Galusha still looking for his first win on the season in that 20 machine. He'll come out pit road. He'll win the race off pit road. Other than Polacek. Polacek takes 2 tires here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hold on. You've got Brandon Sturt and Bobby Smith that are on old tires. You got Steven Polacek that's on 2 tires. Then Nick Galusha and Timothy Lewis that are on fresh tires. They're 4th and 5th. Oh. This is going to get wild here. Buckle your belts. You definitely need to. Watch this 20 and 41, see if they can come around. But it kind of helps a little bit having Steven Polacek there. Brandon Sturt's hoping that that's going to work. As we do not have communication in that car as well. The 11th of of Brandon Sturt. We do not have communication with him. So we will not talk with him. We do have a copy from Steven Polacek. Steven, you take a little different strategy than everybody else. They take 4 tires. Looks like you may take 2 there. What's it going to take here to hold off the guys behind you?
I don't know. I kind of got myself into a weird spot. I pit right before a caution came out. I only had 2 laps on my tires, so I figured why not change it up, try and get up high track position-wise. That's kind of just what I've been doing. I've been able to run the bottom way better than running up top. So I'm glad to be starting 3rd. I'm really just hoping for good points today. I haven't had any of those this year. I keep getting caught up in other people's nonsense in mid-pack. So just looking for a solid points day here.
Definitely should be an interesting when you got 2 out there that stayed out on older tires. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
That was Steven Polacek there in the 92 machine, the Rocket League. Again, he has not been up here, so he finds himself inside the top 3 with 3 laps to go. But you've got some hungry teammates behind him of the Rat Bastards of Nick Galusha and Timothy Lewis. It should be interesting. You got Brandon Sturt's going to be on the inside. You're going to have Bobby Smith on the outside. Then you're going to have Polacek on the inside right behind Brandon Sturt. And then you're going to have Nick Galusha on the outside of row number 2. But that does divide up Nick Galusha and the 41 of Timothy Lewis. Can they get together and work together to get up front here? And you also got Trevor Catalano. Keep an eye on him. He's running in the 6th position. The 6th position in the 3rd row on the outside. All right. We are getting set for another green flag. This could be it. This will be the final, probably the final restart here. Again, thank you for tuning in to the Tarmac Esports Truck Series. Greatly appreciate you guys tuning in all season long. Round 7 here at Las Vegas, Nevada. All right. Hope you all have your seatbelts on. Older tires in front, a little bit newer tires on the outside of row number 2 and row 3 on back. And they all bump each other. Green flag is waving out in the speedway. Nick Galusha has an open window on the outside. Yes, he does, as the 98 comes down to the inside. So here we go. The 20, can he get to the outside of the 11 of Brandon Sturt with just a few laps to go? Can we even make it a lap is the question, as all the cars are bunched up. We got 3 wide on back into the pack. Brandon Surratt has your race lead right now, but here comes the 20 of Nick Galusha on the outside. Bobby Smith looking for his best finish of the season in the 98. He runs into 3rd position. Nick Galusha trying his everything on the outside. We have 10 laps to go in this one. More trips around here. Brandon Surratt down to the inside. Outside is the 20 of Nick Galusha. He's going to get a good push to the line to the outside. Nick Galusha running 2nd right now. Teammates finally found each other. Timothy Lewis and Nick Galusha. Nick Galusha is going to the outside. He's going to the lead. He's going to try to take his teammate, the 41 of Timothy Lewis. He stays to the top side to use the draft. Brandon Surratt holding on strong here. Running into 3rd position. Here comes Bobby Smith to the outside of Surratt here to try to take over that 3rd position, the final podium spot. 8 more laps around, anything can happen. It's 3 wide in the back, and there's some contact back here. Trevor Catalano, and he somehow holds on to it, and we stay green flag. Great job by Trevor Catalano to hold on to it, and no caution flag comes out. Steven Polacek continues to drop. He's back into the 7th position. 2 teammates running 1-2 right now. Nick Galusha, Timothy Lewis. They'll try to extend their lead over Bobby Smith right now. Bobby Smith having a great run right now in the 3rd position, but here comes another Rat Bastard teammate of Paul Fly. Paul Fly into the 4th position right now. He's setting sights on the 98 machine. Kyle Wellman coming through the pack once again. We talked about him. Got involved in an accident there. He's trying to come back and salvage something here. Brandon Surratt continues to drop. Ernie Williams Jr. now to the inside of him. Here comes Kyle Wellman. He's going to try to put it 3 wide there. And the 42 goes to the inside. They're side by side. Back up front still Nick Galusha and Timothy Lewis leading the way with Paul Fly, another teammate. 1, 2, 3. That team is absolutely dominating this series. Daniel Quigley runs in the 4th position. A great outing for Daniel Quigley. And Ernie Williams Jr., your Daytona winner of the very first race of the season, finds himself inside the top 5. The single file right now with 5 more laps as they cross the line this time by. Kyle Wellman still on the move on the inside of Bobby Smith Jr. Wellman up into the 6th position. Good comeback for him. The Patrick Day fans, well, you can't be too happy right there as he's back into the 18th position, not able to do anything right now after having 2 really good finishes on the season. Not looking like a good one here. Daniel Quigley has brought to the back bumper of Paul Fly now with Ernie Williams Jr. there as well. Will Daniel Quigley and Ernie Williams work against the 3 teammates in front? Kyle Wellman's going to try to close that gap as we got 3 more laps around here. Nick Galusha still holding strong there. Question is, will Timothy Lewis be able to steal the win away and be a repeat winner? Or will that 20 car of Nick Galusha that has been striving for a win get his first win? Timothy Lewis right to the back bumper of that 20 machine, the 94 of Paul Fly. Those 2 are 2 winners or a winner on the season and looking for a second win. Daniel Quigley not a win this year, and then Ernie Williams Jr. has a win on the season. Coming across the stripe, 2 more trips around here at Las Vegas. Here comes Kyle Wellman. Now here comes Quigley to the outside of the 94, trying to make a look there. Not able to make the move. Now he'll look to the inside of the 94. Now goes to the outside. Here comes the Quigley, 18. The 18 on the outside of the teammates up in front. Not able to do it there. We're coming to the white flag. One more trip around here. The white flag is going to wave this time for Nick Galusha. White flag is waving in the air for that 20 machine. He is liking that, and he's hoping to hold that right now. Will his teammate, the 41 of Lewis, try to take to the outside? Kyle Wellman has moved up into the 4th position now. Going to try to get a run on Paul Fly here at the last corner. Nick Galusha is going to hold on to this win if he can exit out of this turn. Timothy Lewis right to the back bumper, not going to be able to do it. Nick Galusha will be our 7th different winner on the season. Nick Galusha captures the win here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Timothy Lewis comes home in 2nd, Paul Fly in 3rd, and Kyle Wellman comes home 4th. And rounding out the top 5, Daniel Quigley gets in the top 5 for the first time this season. Ernie Williams comes home in the 6th position and was your biggest mover on the day, up 17 spots. 15th was Harold Ralph. 8th was Paul Negus. 9th was Stephen Polacek, up 11 positions there in the 92, so he finds himself a top 10. Zach Dexter comes home the 10th position. Brandon Surratt comes home 11th. 12th was John Ott. 13th was Steve Miller, and 14th was Chris Miller. 15th was Bobby Smith after starting up front on that front row with just 10 to go. As you can see, the donuts are being burnt down there for the 20 car of Nick Galusha. Folks, we'll be right back after this quick commercial break, and we'll have your interviews.
What does it mean to be official? To earn the badge as a trusted source, a symbol of quality and pride. For 95 years, Craftsman Tools has been the backbone for those who build, for those who innovate, for those who pursue goals greater than themselves. To be the official tool of NASCAR is to represent the best of what's possible. For the teams, for the sport, for the future.
Put on the brake, wheels to the left. Go, 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 go.
Oh no!
Be aggressive, everything.
Checkered flag is in the air, and he has done it!
And that future? Well, it's back to where we started. The NASCAR Truck Series. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series returns in 2023. We build pride. One turn, one lap, one race at a time.
Welcome back, race fans, to Las Vegas, as we've just finished up another race, round 7, and we've seen our 7th different winner. Nick Galusha gets the win here. Timothy Lewis comes home 2nd, and Paul Fly comes home 3rd. That team has been absolutely dominant in this series, and you gotta question some of the other drivers is, how are we gonna beat this team, as they have been really, really solid all season long. Nick Galusha came into this with the points lead, and you bet he will come out of it with the points lead and a heavy, heavy favorite to win this championship in the Tarmac Esports Truck Series. And we will start with your 3rd place finisher of Paul Fly. Paul, you come home 3rd. We talked to you 2 weeks ago whenever you won, and you said you was very much looking forward to this track. How was the truck? You started towards the back. You got up there towards the front. You got yourself a podium. Overall, how was your day?
It wasn't bad. Really, we didn't have the run we wanted. We qualified like crap, and then came up through the field, and then there was a wreck in front of me, and somebody came back down in front of the track in front of the field, and it got me into it, so then I went to the back again, and then just to the front, and then to the back, and then back to the front, and finally we ended at the front behind Nick and Timmy, and good run for Nick. Finally got that win, so congrats to him.
Yeah, so you know, this team has absolutely been on fire and really dominant. And what is causing this effect? You know, the dominance from this team to be running up front like you guys are, winning these races, coming second, coming third, you know, leading the points right now. Nick Galusha, what is the success?
Well, I think it helps that we all race in real life. We've raced around each other in real life. We've raced on iRacing forever for a while, probably 3 years now, for a while, and we always, you know, we try to get our iRatings close to each other so we can all be in the same race. So just kind of learning little nuances, and also just having that real life aspect of, you know, how to roll the throttle and all that good stuff, where we can have that little bit extra of an edge.
Well, another solid finish for you in third. You were looking forward to the next race, so imagine you'll be a threat again coming up at Richmond. So congratulations on the podium finish.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Nick and Timmy are very quick at Richmond too, so I think it'll be a really fun battle between the three of us. And who knows? I mean, I'm sure Kyle will be up there too. He's been quick every single week. He's been right on our heels. So a lot to see, and still a long way to go in this season. And I keep reminding Nick every week there's a lot of racing left, so we'll see what happens.
Well, congratulations again. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was Paul Fly. Well, your next guy, we've seen him in Victory Lane before, and that was Timmy Lewis. Timmy Lewis, you come home in the second position, and you had to work yourself back up in the top 5 after having some issues middle way through that race. Overall, how was your race?
It was good. I was glad that I finally had a good week. The past couple of weeks have been a little rough and stuff, but you know, I just tried to come out here and keep it clean, and hopefully just stay up towards the front. I kind of messed up on my pit strategy a little bit there. I thought staying out was a good idea, but it kind of sent me backwards, and I just started pitting with everyone else and staying up there and staying out of trouble.
And so knowing that your teammate was in front of you there with 10 to go, and you're following in behind him there, knowing that he is the points leader right now, was there any moment there that if you had a chance for the win, were you going for it?
We kind of talked about it a little bit. I definitely wanted the win because, like I said, the past couple of weeks have been rough for me, and I definitely needed the points because I dropped out of the top 10 and stuff. So, but no, he needed the win. He hasn't got one in a while. He's been doing good all year, staying out of trouble, running clean. Definitely surprised me a little bit because he is an aggressive driver, but he's doing very good. So I'm just trying to stay out of it, save my tires, just run clean. I've gotten a lot better at that, you know, kind of not using as much brake, better entry, arcing it more, and just running smarter overall. And it's honestly helped in the long run. So hope it pays off towards the end of the season. And I hope next week is even better because Richmond's one of my good tracks. So.
Now, I talked to Paul Fly about this team, and this team has just been dominant throughout this series. You guys have been running up front. I've seemed like I'm always calling your name. You're always inside the top 3 picks on the Countdown to Green show. And I asked him, and I'll ask you too, what is causing such great success in this series that has seen 7 different winners in a very competitive series? What is causing such great success here?
I think it's just the fact that, like, we all race together, and everyone knows we're all in the same house together. So it's just something we've done for so long. And honestly, these guys got me into it. I didn't even know about iRacing until probably about 2-3 years ago. And it's honestly helped me in real life too. It just, things apply. You're more easy on the gas. You're different about how you brake. You're smarter about it. You're more in tune with the wheel. You watch how you move it, how much you turn the car and stuff. So I think it just helps that we all race together a lot, and we just constantly we run with each other, and we've gotten pretty good, and we do a lot of asphalt racing, so that definitely helps too.
Did I hear you correctly and say that you all live in the same house?
We don't all live in the same house, but we do have 3 sims set up in the same house.
So when you guys are here with the Tarmac E-Truck Series, you are racing under the same roof, all of you together?
Yes, sir. All 3 of us. Me and Nick are in the same room, and then Paul's in his room. So we used to all 3 be in the same room, but we kind of split it up a little bit. So
Okay.
But yes, we're all in the same house.
Okay, well, I was going to say, but I know that you guys are all in the Discord channel, but I could just see you guys, if you weren't, yelling from room to room, hey, do not pass me. I need this win. Oh, man, this was a fun one. I'm glad to see you guys 1, 2, 3 once again up there, the 40, the 20, the 41, and the 94. Again, congratulations on the second place finish. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing this every week. I really do appreciate it. It's awesome. We love doing it. The broadcast is awesome, and I love seeing it every week and going back and watching it. And I just want to thank Chris because he does all this. So thank you guys.
Yep, absolutely. Chris was the founder of all of this, so this series wouldn't be here without him. We greatly do appreciate him, and thank you for supporting us and rewatching the race throughout the week. Again, congratulations on that second place finish. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
Okay, so that means we have to go to the 20 machine of Nick Galusha. And now that I've got a hold of Nick Galusha, I should have just called the landline at that house because they all are under the same roof right now. Nick Galusha, you finally was able to get that victory. You've had 3 seconds, and you were not leaving this place without a victory, and you got it. How's it feel?
Yeah, I finally got that monkey off my back. Kind of got to thank Paul and Timmy there. They kind of gave it to me. I'm sure we could have raced a little harder there at the end, but we didn't want to risk wrecking all three of us for that win. So I got to thank them. But finally got the win and just kind of adding to the points. Can't be a better night.
Yeah, so we seen you take over the lead, and all four of you, it was you, Timothy Lewis, Paul Fly, and Ryan Palmer was just locked up to the top side, all four of you working together, and you had old Kyle Wellman down there on the bottom with no friends. I mean, how crucial was it to have drafting partners there at the end?
Yeah, at first I did not think that it was going to be that much of a drafting track, and then all of a sudden when we started racing there, it was really drafty, and you really had to have your teammates up there to help push, and luckily we got up on the top there and got to the front. Unfortunately, Ryan got caught up in that wreck, but for me, Paul, and Timmy, yeah, we used that to our advantage.
So I'm sitting here on this side of the screen, and Timothy told me, and I didn't realize that you guys were all under the same roof, which is really interesting to me to see three guys racing under one roof. Were you yelling in your room at him to, hey, just give me this win?
Yeah, I'm actually sitting right next to Timmy, so I was talking to him. I was like, "Are you good with just sitting there?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just need a second." So we kind of planned that one out, but yeah, it's kind of weird being under the same roof. Actually, we only have one more race under the same roof because I'm moving out here after the new year, so it'll be a little different.
Okay, well maybe that's just the insight that the other drivers need. Maybe it was some kind of in-the-house look that you guys had all under one roof, and maybe things will change. I hope not for your sake. Hey, you're doing great this season. You're still the points leader after this race. We still got a lot of racing, and Paul even mentioned it there when I talked to him in the interview. We still have a lot of racing left. We're over the halfway point, but what's it going to take to, be crowned that champion?
I think I definitely just have to stay consistent, just keep what I'm doing. I know I do still have that drop week if I do need it, hoping not to use it. But I know next week, I believe, is Richmond, and that's one of my stronger tracks, so I'm hoping to maybe go back-to-back there. But just stay out of the trouble and just stay up front.
One last thing before I let you go. What was your thoughts whenever you watched the Countdown to Green session and all three of us picked you to win tonight?
Yeah, that was a little, you put a lot of pressure on me there. So glad I could stick that one out for you guys and make that come true. So I think that's 3 points on the board for everyone.
Yeah, 3
so
points.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations again on the victory. Man, we'll see you at Richmond, and we expect you to be in contention to win this thing. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thanks, man. And thank you again for doing this every week. It's awesome. We watch it every week, so it's great.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
All right. that is it. Nick Galusha gets the win here at Las Vegas, Nevada. Under the lights, the stars shined and the planets aligned just right for Nick Galusha to finally get that win on the season. And it took the 7th race of the season, and we've seen 7 different winners in this series. Unbelievable. That is a testament of how strong of a field this Tarmac Esports series is. From all of us here at Tarmac Esports, thank you for tuning in. Again, one last thing, if you have not done so, you can donate to us and help this Tarmac Esports. Right there, you can hit the QR code, you can use your phone, be able to, boom, instantly send us some money that we would greatly appreciate for this season. All right, that's all we've got. We'll see you next week at Richmond. That's where we're headed, Wednesday, December 20th, just before Christmas, and then we'll have a break for the Christmas holiday. But until then, we'll see you at Richmond.